Hey you guys, what's up? It's Anime Blaze coming to you with another video, that is right. And in this particular video, I want to try to help out people who are trying to watch the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex anime for the first time and make it hopefully the most enjoyable experience that they can possibly have with the show, because personally with me, I've watched this anime and I've had so many rough encounters with the different stuff that I was prepared to drop it many times. But uh, after watching it and learning a couple of things that this show goes about, I've learned that there are different ways to watch it without dropping it, without giving up completely. I mean, you can give up because nothing wrong with it, but you get the point. All right. So the first thing you want to keep in mind is Ghost in the Shell, the plot with the first and second season is that it's very heavily influenced by politics, whether it's previous wars that happened that are affecting the government and everything now, or if it's current politics with assassination attempts, kidnappings, all this other stuff with political officials and everything. That's going to play a huge part in that. So don't be surprised if you hear the names of a bunch of different organizations, people, and everything else that isn't important to the series. I mean, there are a few names and organizations and groups that are important to the series, but there's you just have to keep in mind which ones are important. And I'll get into that later on about why that is and a couple of other things. All right. So the second thing you want to keep in mind is that Ghost in the Shell, it deals with Section 9, which in a sense they are police and they arrest people. But, I mean, they're anti-terrorist group, but that's the point. They are a police group. And in some ways, I like to compare this with CSI. I don't actually know anyone who marathons CSI episodes, especially with the information that they're getting in the episode, like the clues, the detectives, all the other stuff. I don't know anyone who actually marathons the episode. So in the same way, with Section 9 being like CSI, you do not want to marathon the series. All right? You do not want to marathon Ghost in the Shell, especially with this show in particular. And here's why. There's just way too much information that's going on in Ghost in the Shell. You can blame Shiro Masamune for this. That's the guy who made the Ghost in the Shell manga. See, a lot of people, I mean, me and a lot of other people who have read the Ghost in the Shell manga and a lot of his other works realize that when he does this in the manga too, he names off different groups, different people, different acronyms for different things, where like we don't know what it is and like it barely crosses our minds, but he puts it in like a caption, like an explanation as to what it is and a definition. And in fact, if I remember correctly, the first Ghost in the Shell volume had its own glossary. So that's telling you something. That's a whole bunch of information that you can't fit like directly into the book. So that whole aspect carried over into the anime series. Whereas, yeah, like I watched on the DVD one of the extras that they had with the interview they did with the director of the series. He said, yeah, well, seeing as how in the manga you can't exactly take every single caption of information and put a caption off to the side, say, yeah, this is what it is. You have to make the dialogue like really extensive. And I mean, I can't remember how long he said it took them to like create a script for the show, but you got to keep that in mind. That's a lot of information. And that's why I say not to watch more than one episode at a time, because with all the information you're getting and from these different groups that some of them don't even matter, like some of them aren't even like important to the story, sometimes you're going to be getting a little extra information that you don't exactly need. So one episode at a time, careful with the information that you get so you don't get an information overload and it kills it. You just can't watch it anymore. That's happened to me. At some point in time, I had to take breaks. It happens. But yeah, so just make sure you keep that in mind. All right. Another thing I do want to bring up with Ghost in the Shell, the episodes. You guys know how some anime have filler episodes, and some of them aren't important, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and stuff like that. Well, Ghost in the Shell kind of has something similar to that. I have something here that I found on one of the episodes that I watched on YouTube. By the way, you can watch this anime on YouTube in HD, so go and check that out. But here's a comment by DeathScythe91 that I've heard about this being true before, but he just pretty much confirmed this, or they pretty much confirmed this for me. It said, well, the series is divided into two different types of episodes: standalone episodes and complex episodes. The standalone episodes are pretty much dealing with the political events and the, I guess, philosophy, I guess. I mean, well, there is, yeah, I guess you could imply philosophy that, or pretty much more or less the problems that they're dealing with in their current society with people, with everyone being cyborgs and everything. So, you know, you got to deal with that. And the complex episodes are actually the episodes that have to do with the main story. Season 1 being the Laughing Man, and Season 2 being Kuze, the terrorist guy. So you can find those within the series. I mean, you can go through and find which episodes are the standalone episodes and the complex episodes if you want. If you want to just skip straight to the, I guess, let me think. If you want to just go straight along with the storyline of the show, you can go and watch the complex episodes. Nothing wrong with that. However, I would recommend that you guys watch the standalone episodes as well, because they kind of give you the whole atmosphere for what the show is actually about. Because if you just go straight in watching nothing but the complex episodes, you will just kind of just be watching the story just to figure out what's going on. You won't get a real feel for the atmosphere of what the show is actually about, like the problems that they face, what carried over to make these characters, the Laughing Man and Hideo Kuze, carry out the actions that they did. So I would recommend you just watch both seasons, kind of like, I guess, the one episode at a time, instead of skipping around. I mean, it's kind of the same thing of what Zoro had said with watching One Piece. You don't just start on skip through episodes and skip to certain arcs just to watch it. You have to watch the entire thing in order to get the entire picture and enjoy it for what it is. And I guess in a way, Ghost in the Shell is kind of the same. So with that being said, this is the Anime Blaze signing out, saying never doubt your capabilities, because you never know what you might be able to do. And watch Ghost in the Shell one episode at a time. Take it easy. Don't marathon the series, because trust me, you will most likely drop it. It's happened to me a couple of times. So I mean, no big deal if you do. Just, take it easy, and you should be good. Alright guys, I'll catch you later in whatever may be happening that I decide to do later.